I am coming on with a quick, shorter Q&A today. Since, this is the time I have, and we're just gonna do what we can in the time we have, right? In case you didn't know, I'm a Leo. But my moon is in Capricorn. We just had a new moon in Capricorn yesterday. And so I've been really, our moon sign indicates, oh, hi, Bailey, hi, Chris, hi, Jill. Oh my gosh, I saw Bailey, Kristen, and then I saw Jill. Hi, Bailey and Jill. So our moon sign indicates sort of our emotional nature and also what we need emotionally to feel stable, secure, cared for. And so I wanted to talk about self-care today, especially with this astrology of the month being a little challenging, bringing up some stuff, and the holidays also can be challenging and bringing up some stuff, right? Hey, Heather, good to see y'all. I wanted to talk about self-care. Now, as my moon is in Capricorn, I am someone that, as much as I am very open and outgoing and sharing and giving, and I love people and I love making other people feel good and feel seen, that's my Leo nature. My moon is actually, when it comes to my own emotions and needs and feelings, I'm very private, and I'm actually quite good at taking care of myself and my needs. Capricorn is the workhorse of the zodiac. They get stuff done. Aries gets stuff done too, but in a very different way. Okay? Yes, Bailey, self-care is so important. We all need it, right? We need it extra. You need more in proportion to how challenging things are, really. But you always need it, and it's easy to get slack on the self-care when things are going good. And a lot of times, unfortunately, being the humans that we are, we usually don't really up our self-care until we're forced to. Heather says I'm no good at the whole self-care thing. Well, that's part of why I'm doing this, because self-care is possible for everyone. The biggest thing I see with my clients is that you actually have to redefine what self-care is. And I've been invited into a number of corporate headquarters and agencies this year, getting to, under the guise of doing talks about mindfulness and leading people through mindfulness exercises. But what I really love about doing that is it's my secret, in to get to really flip the script around what self-care is and how we can all incorporate better self-care, first of all, because some of the things people think of as self-care aren't really working for them. And so you're basically then just wasting time and energy. I'm not wasting it, but it could be better spent doing something else that actually provides care for you rather than taking a bubble bath. Okay? Not the bubble bath. Bubble baths are great. I love bubble baths. But self-care really needs to be more ongoing, continuous, sustainable, which means for many, many people that have a lot going on in their lives, it's going to look not like I'm taking a lot of time for myself, but these are all the little ways throughout the day I'm paying attention to my needs and making moments of time to connect to myself and to attend to those needs. All right? Mary says, I don't have a lot of time, but 10-minute meditations in the morning are a must for me. That is great. That is a great example of very doable self-care, especially if you're someone that enjoys meditation. Now, even if you don't enjoy it, it's really good for you. And if you work with me, you're going to hear me really strongly encourage everyone to develop their own type of meditation practice. But meditation doesn't have to mean that you're just sitting quietly and breathing. Some people are more geared towards movement. So they achieve the benefits of meditation quicker and easier if their bodies are moving rather than sitting still. And so then we talk about how they meditate when they're doing something they have to do anyways. If you're walking your dog, if you are washing dishes, if you're knitting, those are all things you can use as meditation, all right? And then for me, and I don't know how many of you saw, I made a post earlier today about healing and what healing is and what it asks of us. But that's really directly tied to self-care, in that we choose throughout the day over and over and over and over again to prioritize our needs and to be tender and gentle with ourselves. That is self-care, and that's probably the core of my own self-care practice. Obviously, I'm an avid meditator. I meditate pretty much daily. I can't function well without meditation. But that's me. I don't expect everyone to wake up in the middle of the night and meditate for 30 minutes. That was something that arose very organically. I've been doing this since I was 12 because that's something that works for me. So pay attention to the things you're naturally drawn to doing that soothe you, that calm you, or that just lift you up and make you feel good. Those are going to be the things that you naturally gravitate to. If you can just do them a little more, that's a form of self-care. But also consistently choosing kindness, tenderness, gentleness, and presence for ourselves. That is the foundation of my self-care. I had an awareness when I was in my late teens. I think I was in college probably. I was studying Buddhism. I went abroad to Tibet when I was in college in India and Nepal. And so I did a lot of meditation when I was in my early 20s and late teens. And at some point during that time, I had this awareness. In Buddhism, they talk a lot about non-attachment, right? And it challenged me because I was of the mindset that we need each other. I can't not be attached to other people because I'm here to be connected to people. I love people. We should be putting our energy into healthy communities and relationships. And that wasn't what the non-attachment principle was saying. It was the realization for me that no one else is responsible for my happiness and my well-being. Especially once I'm old enough. It's different when you're a baby. But when you're old enough to provide for yourself, no one else is responsible for your needs. Now, we'll all have times in our life where we can't provide for ourselves. If we get sick, if we get incapacitated, we do need each other. Non-attachment is not about the fact that we need other people and, we need to have strong communities. It's really about not being dependent on anyone else, that we actually already have the capacity to feel whole and loved and cared for because we can offer that to ourselves and because there's an infinite flow of energy that we can each individually and uniquely access. And what that asks of me is that it isn't selfish to put my needs first, that actually I am a more compassionate and giving human to those around me when I put myself first and when I'm not attached to how other people perceive me, to what they need from me, to any of those pulls that we feel as sensitive humans in the world. And so for me, I realized I had to every day be very attuned. I will start my day checking in. What does my body need today? Maybe it wants to move today. Maybe it just wants to rest and be still. And I listen, and then I offer that to myself. I might not be able to offer that to myself the whole day, but when I can, I do. And I at least carve out some time for what my body is asking for. Sometimes it wants a really nourishing, hearty meal. And so I make that time, I make that promise to myself to get this particular food I'm really wanting or craving. Other times, it's just an ongoing awareness of what I'm telling myself, what I'm thinking about myself. That self-talk that we talk about, self-care for me, a big part of it is making sure if I have a thought like, oh gosh, that was so dumb, why did I do that? I immediately pause and recorrect, restate that thought. And I offer myself compassion. I offer myself love and care and understanding. Oh, you made a mistake. Guess what? We all make mistakes. You're doing as good of a job as you can. What do you need right now? If something's really challenging, like I was having a hard time with my computer earlier, it was not doing what I wanted, and I could feel that frustration rising because I have all of these things I want to get done before the end of the year. And we only have a couple days left, right? And I had time this morning to do it, and my computer was not cooperating. And I was feeling the frustration building, and I felt my body tensing, and so I paused and followed my own advice, and I took some deep breaths into my body to center myself, and then I just tuned in. Is it the end of the world if I don't complete this right now? Would it be better to step away from the computer and then come back to it later? Or is it going to behoove me to just power through and see what else I can do on the computer? And what feels best for me right now? This is not the end of the world. The world does not depend on me doing these things on the computer right now. And there's a lot of reframing that I still do. I've been doing this for years, so I don't have to do as much of that fine tuning as I used to, because over the years of doing this, my innate self-talk has gotten very kind and loving because I've practiced this over and over and over again, and it really does make a difference over time. But I do have my moments, obviously, where I can be really hard on myself. And so I stop and I check in and I ask myself what I need. And that is my biggest self-care tip for everyone, is to just make time and space to be present with yourself, to listen to what you need, to see if there's another way of thinking about things or even doing things throughout your day that would be kinder to you, that would put your needs first. When I am being very attentive to my own needs, I am more likely to be in a space of flow. It doesn't mean that I don't run into frustrations, like my car won't start or my laptop's not working. But when I prioritize my needs versus prioritizing what I think everyone around me needs, it takes this pressure off, and it lets me be in a much more loving and compassionate space, and that changes the whole vibration. And so when I'm thinking about how I move through my days and the care I offer myself, it's not these bigger things. It's not like, oh, I take a bubble bath 3 times a week, and oh, I meditate for these 30 minutes, and la 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 la. Like, yes, those are things that are part of my self-care, but the most crucial part of my self-care is the moment to moment. How am I treating myself? How am I feeling about myself? How am I talking to myself? And am I paying attention to what I need? Is my body asking me for rest? Is it asking me to go pee? So many times we hold our pee, right? Why do we do that? I mean, sometimes we really feel like we can't take that moment to go take care of our bodies. But that's a messed up thing from our culture. That's a messed up message we've gotten from society, okay? If you look at animals around the world, do any of them say, oh, let me finish washing the dishes before I go to the bathroom? Once in a while, it's okay to do that, but no, they're gonna take care of their needs when they have the need. Children do this too. When they have a need, most children, especially if they haven't been abused, punished, whatever, for having needs, they will make their needs known. That is how we survive as a species. Babies cry. Babies let us know when they have a need. And your system will keep letting you know its needs. We just have to turn up the volume. We have to relearn how to listen to the messages our body is sending. When we don't listen, our bodies ramp up in getting our attention, because our bodies are really actually quite smart and capable, and they will find ways. Our bodies find ways of getting our attention. We will be forced to stop. We will be forced to pause. We will be forced to make self-care the largest part of our day. So I hope this was helpful. Really, for me, self-care, just think about it differently. Not about these bigger things you do, but just about little moments throughout the day, again and again, where you show care for yourself. And sometimes for me, it's as simple as this. I put my hand on my heart and I breathe. And I'm here. And I'm with myself. And I did that for a really long time, to the point it's become routine for me. I do this often. The moment I start to feel stressed or sad or angry, I come home to myself. And it started with just a hand here and breathing. And I kind of put some weight on it. I don't just it's not loose. It's I press gently but firmly on my heart. And it sends this reassurance through my whole system that hey, I've got me. I'm here with me. And then once I had done that and taken that deep breath and that hand and that pressure and that warmth, I took it a step further and I started to actively intend that I was receiving love when I did that. As I breathe in, I'm breathing love and kindness into my system. And I offer that to myself multiple times throughout the day. And it's the simplest thing, but it lets my entire system, my mind, my body, my emotions, my energy know that, hey, I'm here. And I'm looking out for me, and I'm listening to me, and I'm loving me, and I'm choosing to be kind to me. And the more you do that, the more you will intuitively feel guided to the rest of the things you need for self-care, whether that means rearranging your schedule, or something as big as quitting your job, or something as small as just drinking a glass of water. It can be simple. It can be little. Pay attention to the small things. All right? And everyone, take good care of yourselves today. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And I love you very much. Mwah! I'll see you soon. I'll see you in 2020. Oh my gosh. Bye.